How do we get here? Hardcore Path of Exile 2? Mercenary? Summoner? Let's go over it. So, been playing since League launch on the first character. We got to level 26. We had a series of late night bossing. These are all going blind. I didn't check and see anything in particular. As you can see, those minions on the screen, I guess, explode. And they got me from almost full health to nothing pretty quick. Just slow to react on the exit screen there. The second one died to King of the Mists. I had it on the pause screen when I knew I was going to die, and then I was like, nah, am I really dead? And I paused back in and died. But the third one, we're of course 38 in the ruins here. Just want to go over some things that my build has been doing, and kind of structure from there to how to get the SRS kind of automation, popcorn SRS in a sense, the skill tree and how to survive. Mercenary tree, of course, starts nowhere near any minion nodes, so we have not gone any real source of damage. I'll show you the tree here. We took the quality skills for our ascendancy. Negligible, doesn't need to do that to get to here. But as for the tree, every single tree I started comes down and gets battle hardened first, and then gets into hard to kill for the regen. Regen was really significant early on. I tried to get it on all of my pieces of gear. We then essentially went over to Mass Rejuvenation. At this point, it was crossbows using the main skill that you get there, the fragmentation shards or bolts, whatever they are, for the first 3 levels. Get 2 into int, so I can start using essentially some caster weapons. As soon as you get to the vendor in town, you start checking for +1 all skills, flat cold damage, flat fire damage, whatever you can get. Something like this, if I could use physical spells, would be good too. And then I essentially went those 2 int nodes and went to spells right off the bat. I had a lot of cold weapons that I did. So I did like Ice Nova into Frost Bolts, and did the Frost Bolt Ice Nova combo to kill a lot of bosses for the early on up to like level 6. At level 6, we swapped to Firewall and Ember Fusillade. The combination of this has been extremely strong. Of course, you do the Flame Wall, does damage over time for fire, and then you of course pass through all these shards, you queue them up, and then they release towards a target. I can show you here real quick. You queue them up around your body. You do let the click go for a second, and then it shoots them in a direction that you're facing. It doesn't auto target necessarily, so you kind of have to have your character model facing towards the boss that you want to hit. But that was very strong early game, even with having nothing offensive on the tree. I did in this variant come over here and grab 1 node for projectile damage. They are projectiles. They then did some more damage. The character that only did 15, I actually came down to here and got Ricochet and came actually through the right side of the tree. But then I kind of found out defense is king, for hardcore at least. I got the armor nodes, got the regen instead. And then the rest, another armor regen node here. The rest is travel nodes and stat nodes. Kind of getting over here into mana regen, which we need, and we're getting close to Minion Reservation. So the Popcorn SRS, I think Gazzy has a host on it currently. Essentially, it's pretty easy. When you get Castle Minion Death at 36, you can only get to Flame Wall. I have it linked to Clarity as well to do the mana support, so I don't have to do anything here. And I have my sustain for mana. And then SRS, of course, is activated as well. So this costs 60 spirit. This one costs 30 spirit. And then I've got Feeding Frenzy, Infernal Legion, and Minion Instability. So there's a couple ways to proc it. You can just Pain Entombment and kill one of your minions. That would proc it as well. Or you can just use like Ember, Fusillade, shoot it towards a tree or shoot it towards a target. It spawns the SRS already, and we're good to go. I'm also running Detonate Dead for exceptionally quick pack clear and taking out some of those big tanky rares with Magnified Effect and Control Destruction. Flammability, Skeletal Arsonist running Martial Tempo and Scatter Shot for extra proj. Regular Pain Offering. Still got Ice Nova from when I leveled it from the beginning with Unleash. And then just a Skeletal Warrior from the weapon itself. Things on gear, like I said early on, we got a cool little unique here, but you're pretty much looking for life, resistance, armor as well. +1 minions is really good on items. As you get into the later minion phase, you'll want spirit, but essentially life regen is really big early on. So I would use anything, you know, 1 res, not even, just life regen. So something like this. Boom, level 10, flat life regen, strength, life, res. Even something like this, just life regen from the early phases. But it's really, really strong to check the vendors all the time and get geared up. This character's been pretty tanky overall. Definitely kind of check your character stat sheet. I'm not quite there on fire, but lighting and cold are good in chaos is getting there. Because my fire is so low, I'm still using the Ruby Charm to try to make that gap higher. But armor and evasion, so PDR, and evasion chance and block is what I'm using here. It's been pretty tanky overall. I haven't got one shot, of course. The idea, in comparison to people I've been seeing in softcore do these types of builds or play the game in general, have been getting absolutely destroyed, even getting surrounded by mobs and dying. This character, of course, has a lot longer time to sustain, do damage, and occasionally pot to get health back, that I'm not like getting chunked, and it's not very scary most of the time. There are some boss thresholds that I do try to overlevel, try to have extra to life for, and try to, of course, get max res. The next boss has a lot of fire res, so I am actually going to fix this first before going on. But these things, just don't overlook them. Check your character sheet often. Go for every stat to feel tanky and hardcore, and things will go a lot smoother. So I'll be live streaming today and probably the rest of the week. I'll probably do a full build guide once this character's complete, and probably stop after the campaign to get a good recap as well. But yeah, we'll see you then. Take care and stay safe. Peace.